every now and then in the birdwatching world, something is spotted that's so special you have to try and see it. Finally here. Takes about 20 minutes to get down that road, but once you're here, it is worth it. There we go, the Swale Nature Reserve. Pro tip for birding or generally going outside when it's very wet and muddy. The muck boot. This is like a welly on steroids, and it's very, very, very warm. I think this one, the Arctic Sport, is rated down to something like -5, maybe even more, but with a thick sock, you can basically do what you want in these. They're brilliant. Today it's eagle watch. I was originally going to go down to the coast to Burling Gap and do some sea watching until yesterday somebody spotted a white-tailed sea eagle not that far from where I live. He was spotted just around the Kent coast and is obviously on the move, but today I've come over to Swale Nature, just near Hearty Ferry, which is on the Isle of Sheppey. And when most people think of the Isle of Sheppey, they're probably thinking of Elmley. But we're not going to Elmley today. We're on the Swale Nature Reserve, and it is huge. As you can see behind me, it's a huge salt marsh with shell beaches. So you get all of the wading birds on the beach, but from time to time down here you get a hen harrier, you get sparrowhawks, you get all sorts of things coming across the sea, and today, hopefully, we get an eagle. What's that? A black-headed gull? It looks a bit weird. No. Surely not. Not this quickly. It is! One of Britain's rarest birds of prey, and the spectacular male no less. It's a hen harrier. Swooping over the moorland in its incredibly unique style. Look at this, look at its black wingtips and how easily it just darts across the moorland looking for a tasty morsel. I can't believe I'm watching it for this long. But the wind's picking up. So is it going to? You have to see this. Watch closely. There. Did you see it? Let's watch that again in slow motion. Here it is. And up. Incredible. Incredible. What a treat. You can see why they call it the pale ghost, because it looks just like that. It's so grey, to me it almost looks like a lilac or a very light purple. I was joined by a chap called Nathan, whose channel I'll link below actually, who's not a birder. Interested in the natural world, seen a few birds around, and he was treated to seeing a hen harrier. And from this hide, we've been watching, and I've still got the lens trained on it, a peregrine falcon attacking hares. Look at this. Look at this. The first bird we saw was a hen harrier, and now we've got a peregrine mobbing a hare. The hare doesn't seem to mind. He knows that the peregrine can't pick him up, but for whatever reason, this peregrine does not want that hare here. Say that fast. Can you see the buzzard in the background? Here he goes again. But I can't see a hare. What's he seen? Hang on. What's that? He can definitely see something. What is it? He can definitely see something. He wouldn't be using this much energy if he couldn't. What is it? There. Did you see that? I can't believe this. Let's have another look. Here he comes, and whoop! It's a stoat. He's absolutely desperate for something. Whether it's the hare or the stoat, this peregrine isn't giving up. This is the absolute speed machine out here, and he's trying desperately to grab a tiny little stoat. You've got a feel for the stoat having this apex predator after him, but it seems like he's just too agile, or he's hiding just that bit too well in the long grass. There has to be something about beginner's luck. Time after time when I'm with a friend or with someone who it might be their first time out birding properly, they see the most amazing stuff, as is the case with Nathan today, but I've had it before. A friend of mine has been taking a leak in a bush and had a bittern pass 2 or 3 feet above his head, nearly hit him, and then say, "What was that?" without realizing how amazing it is. There's got to be something to beginner's luck. Gear-wise, quite straightforward at the moment. I've got the 400mm with the 2x teleconverter, just so I can see where that peregrine is. He's somewhere down there. Got my binoculars, my completely mud-covered, fogged-up Nikons, and I'll probably go back to the 1.4 teleconverter just in case something comes across for a better picture, because the image quality does drop off quite a lot with the 2x in bad light. And the penknife, well, that was for cutting my cigar because I left my cutter in the car. It was one of those funny moments, really, talking to Nathan this morning about the hen harrier that we were watching that was gliding over these marshes in the most unique way. It's very difficult to describe, but it really is an aerial acrobat, even though it's going quite slowly. He could tell I was excited about it and said, "Oh, is that rare? Is that interesting?" In explaining why it's interesting, it kind of ticks even more in your brain. It makes a bit more sense how ridiculous it is that in a country like this, that a bird like the hen harrier was extinct because of being persecuted, hunted, shot, and even today, after being reintroduced, it's still one of the rarest birds of prey you can see, largely because of persecution on grouse moors again. So it's just crazy to think that something like that, as amazing as it is to look at, as beautiful as it is shot, it gets stuck on glue on posts as traps, it has its legs broken in traps by groundskeepers, gamekeepers on these grouse moors for the sake of shooting, when it doesn't actually affect the grouse at all. Let's be frank. It's embarrassing, really. This is one of the better hides, actually, I've been to in a while. Really nicely looked after. You've got a near 360-degree view, and it's very well built. There's no rubbish in it. It's very sturdy, and you've got very good views either side. So it's a real cracker. If you're coming down to the Swale, you've got to come to this hide. The tower hide is right on the other side, and to be honest, I don't know how to get there. But this hide, I think I'm going to rate 4 bill oddies out of a possible 5. Just trying to see if I can find this peregrine. I can't see him having given up on those pigeons, given how much effort he put in and how long it's been. So I'm just trying to see if I can see him on a fence post or on the ground, plucking away and removing the feathers from a pigeon. But he's a really long way away. It's interesting to see how peregrines behave differently in 2 different environments. So I've photographed them or watched them quite a lot, and the ones in the city and in quarries and cliffs will get up high and stoop on their prey, but out here on the marshland they stay as low as possible and just go as fast as possible and then try and outmaneuver their prey. So it's interesting to see how they use their environments differently, but I guess out here, if they went up super high to then stoop down on something, they're quite likely to be seen and give away their position because there's no cover. Watching a peregrine go full speed across a moor, that's something else. Just have a look at this landscape. What otherwise might look like a really barren kind of wasteland is absolutely perfect for our birds of prey. So we've had marsh harriers, buzzards, one peregrine, the hen harrier. I think I saw a merlin, but I'm not going to say it confidently. And maybe we could still get an eagle. Who knows? You don't always need a pair, but at a really big reserve like this, binoculars are essential. Oh, talk of the devil, is that a hen harrier? No, it's a seagull. Because you're going to pick things up with binoculars that you are just not, no matter how good your eyes are, you're not going to see them. That peregrine was the best part of a mile away, and everything else, you know, when you're identifying, when you're trying to work out where they are, you need binoculars. That stoat, for example, it makes it much more enjoyable to be able to see what you're actually looking at, that you're squinting, you're trying to work out what it is. A decent pair of binoculars will get you up close. Out here, even the 400 with a 1.4 or 2 times teleconverter, it probably isn't enough. It is a massive bit of land. So a 600 with a 1.4 or 2 times is going to get you a bit closer to the action, but at least 500 millimeters out here. I'm leaving the hide and I'm going to head back down to the beach end of the reserve to see if anything interesting has turned up on the beach itself, all the while keeping an eye out for hen harriers on this side. I was just coming around this corner and I saw a tiny little stoat, not in ermine colours, but still brown, scurrying along the path. And he's just nipped into his den, 10 or 15 meters down that way. I'm going to get low, probably get wet, and see if I can get him poking his head out. I'm going to give this some time, because if he comes out of where I think he is, the background is miles off, so it's going to be nice and diffused, it's going to look lovely. The shot, if I can get it, will be perfect. So eagle watch is now stoat watch. I'm not usually the biggest fan of graffiti, but this is brilliant. So this is a pretty well-known bit of graffiti, it doesn't look like spray paint, it actually looks like real paint. On a pillbox down here at the beach on the Swale, that's a hen harrier, and look at it. For a painting on a pillbox, that's not bad going. I have no idea who did it, but it's a really, really good go, and fair play. If you're gonna spray paint something at a nature reserve, do that. Unfortunately, no eagle in the end. The stoat was staying in his den, but what a fantastic day. We had hen harriers, marsh harriers, we had the peregrine chasing the hares. Amazing. Couldn't have asked for any more. An eagle would have been great, but there you go, that's nature. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.